Hello, welcome to another episode of Drinking with Comics. My name is Sean,
And I'm Mike.
and it's daylight. It's weird for me to drink during daylight, but this time of year, daylight lasts until 9 o'clock, so that's an unrealistic expectation to wait until dark. Uh,
Yeah,
this
we're
week,
day drinking. Day drinking with
no,
Sean and Mike.
I'm not a day drinker. Only at like a wake or a funeral. That's it. No, I mean, not at the actual funeral. I'm not stumbling up to the casket like, I fucking miss you, buddy. Or maybe I would be. It depends on who it would be. Maybe if it was
You
you,
mean
which I hope you outlive me. But if it was you, I'd probably be drunk at your funeral.
it's like I only get drunk at funerals. I meet so many people every week at these funerals.
It's like there's this old '80s comedy called Real Men with Jim Belushi, and John Ritter. And there's like a
Uh-huh.
joke in it where it's like, I didn't know you smoke. Yeah, only after sex. Oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, about a pack a day.
So what are we drinking?
I just found this at a local liquor store. Never saw it before. Never heard of it before. This is Living Waters Brewery from Nashville. This will be my first
Okay.
experience with them, and this is their Seig Kolsch. And I'm a
Seig
big fan of
Kolsch.
Kolsch, especially when it's what it's in the '90s or whatever.
Yeah.
Really interesting looking can. I'll put up a graphic. Um, Reminds me of what was the Halloween cartoon we watched for the Halloween episode?
Oh, over the garden wall.
It reminds me a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's got the little gnome hat guys,
Yeah,
and oh, that's kind of cute. Yeah, I like
and
the
like the
artwork on
house
this.
built into the hill or whatever. So I
The tree.
the, this will be completely new to me. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Oh man, it's good. Really good.
Well, that's solid. There used to be a brewery called 350 up here, which is the place that eventually they stopped brewing, and the guy went and did the Zap Taco place down the street from my house.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
So he did like a collaboration with another brewery, which I think the other brewery, Hailstorm, still does it. It's a strawberry Kolsch, which is
Oh,
delicious. It's called Howdy Neighbor. I don't
okay.
remember what they call it now at Hailstorm. It just used to be
Hailstorm.
called how. I just know it as Howdy Neighbor. But oh man, it was delightful on a day like today.
So I just stopped at Hailstorm. I have a cousin that lives in that area that always recommends it to me. And I've never gone there. And I just realized this
Oh,
time that it's like, when I come into Chicago and meet up with Mike and a bunch of our friends, we usually go to Sound Growler, which is another great brewery. But then our friend
yeah.
Chris, who I was staying with, is like, Hailstorm's like right there. So on the way out of town, I stopped there and bought a 4 pack of their Irish Red. I almost messaged you this week to see if you could stop and grab some because I was saving a single can to do on the show, and I couldn't wait, dude. It was too good. I drank it.
So next time we'll do Hailstorm. Next time you're in town, we will
Yeah,
just stock up on Hailstorm, meet there. Because yeah, that's a nice place.
nice
I don't
place.
have enough. This is one of those places I never get around to going to though. There's the bit. Sadly, I don't go to enough places because it just doesn't work out.
No, I get it. I don't go out very often
Yeah,
either.
and when I do hit breweries, it tends to be more out of town than in town
Right,
because it's part of a trip.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's
of
like, oh,
course.
we'll hit the local brewery, have a drink, and then go to the next stop. So yeah, uh, yeah, but yeah, that's definitely. I will definitely do anything from Hailstorm. They're very good.
Man, it's a solid Kolsch.
Yeah, that's good. We'll have to check
I'll
them
bring
out when
more the
we're
next
in
time I
town.
come. Um, Tennessee, they know their Kolsch's. It seems like there's quite a few places here where I really like the Kolsch. So
Oh,
we're recording this on July 3rd. So happy Return of the Living Dead Day. I'll be watching the movie tonight. I got my soundtrack, been spinning the vinyl all day, and
was that on July 3rd?
yeah, it takes place on July 3rd. I never
I did not know
realized,
that.
it was one of those throwaway things. And then last year, my friend Ray from the Horror Vision's like, "Are you celebrating July 3rd?" I'm like, "Don't you mean the 4th?" He's like, "No, Return of the Living Dead Day." And it's a thing. People celebrate it by watching a
Of
movie or
course there
dressing up or
is.
whatever. Yeah. But
Is
so
that Tarman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that
Or
flick.
the naked girl who runs
Yes,
around naked throughout the whole thing.
yeah,
I don't remember her name, but she had a book that came out years
Linnea
ago. It's like,
Quigley.
yeah, I'm very famous, but no one knows my name. It was like
Yeah,
her book.
she was very famous for always being naked in the 80s. It's
Mm,
a good thing, you know.
yeah, I liked it as a child.
Yeah.
I remember that movie for that. That and the really bad punks, like that look like they're made from Kmart.
So when I was younger, that always bothered me because I felt like it was somebody sitting in a three-piece suit in a corporate office thinking they know what teenagers were into. And now, like then at some point I realized it's a fucking piss take, you know. Like I got it, but originally when when it was closer to that time and place that
Mhm.
you know, I was like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. But then, you know, it's Dan O'Banion. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, like I know there was punks that were like looked like that, but I saw someone else was like posting it about July 3rd. But yeah, and I was looking at the picture of the punks in the car, and I was trying to figure out what the heck it was until I saw the girl with the clothes on, realizing that, oh, I know her. Yeah, just the one guy had like a chain to his chin, and it was like a big chain too. It was like it
It's
made no
very large.
sense. Like,
It's very
yeah,
large. And his whole demeanor, his whole personality is so over the top. It's like it's obvious. I think that was where like, you know, I probably went 10 years without seeing it and kind of got older and wiser and more versed in like I don't know, whatever. And but I saw it again at some point and I was like, "Oh, this yeah, no, this is a piss take." Okay, I got it. I got it.
okay.
So,
So it's been like, oh, a USA Up All Night since the last time I've seen that movie.
wow.
Uh, yeah, that's how much you know how much I love horror movies.
Yeah.
But what's on the soundtrack? Anyone good?
Oh, dude, it's fucking great. The
Really?
Cramps, Grave
Okay.
45, Roky Erickson, hold on. Right fucking here, man. It's a really, really good soundtrack. This is a Mondo pressing.
Okay.
We got Cramps, Surfing Dead, 45 Grave, Party Time, TSOL, Nothing for You, Flesh Eaters, Eyes Without a Face, Roky Erickson, Burn the Flames, The Damned, Deadbeat Dance, Tall Boys, Take a Walk, The Jet Black Berries, Love Under Will, and then two tracks from SSQ. Tonight, We'll Make Love Until We Die, and Trash's Theme. Trash is Linnea Quigley's character.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
SSQ, do you
Now that I'm
remember?
old, it's like, did her parents name her Trash?
Yeah, I know. Do you
Because with a name like
remember?
that, no wonder she runs around naked.
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you remember Stacy Q? It
Stacy
was like
Q,
a
yes. I think I saw her in concert like a couple of years ago.
she was in SSQ as well. I was when I just learned that like 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" You had no idea. Um,
Was it
really,
two
really cool.
parts? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Really cool. Um, Kind of 80s punk soundtrack. It's funny because this fits right in. I just picked up a the Criterion edition of Repo Man, and it's
Oh,
another movie.
I
Man,
think I used to have the soundtrack to that on CD or
fucking
on, yeah,
awesome
CD.
soundtrack, awesome
Yeah.
movie, and a movie I did not actually see until 2018 or 2019. Never saw it my whole life.
Really? So it's
People were always like, "How haven't you seen this?"
it's what Pulp Fiction ripped off.
Hmm. No, that's Alex Cox's other movie, Straight to Hell, with
Straight to
Samuel
Hell
Jackson. He
and
literally took the idea for his character from that
yeah, and
movie.
then straight but the whole thing with the box with
Oh well, that's a
the
MacGuffin. That goes back to Kiss Me
but the
Deadly in
light
the
up
40s.
trunk thing, yeah,
Yeah,
but it's just like he just ripped off Alex Cox movies.
no, Alex Cox used it. That's also in a movie. I believe it's called Kiss Me Deadly. It's an old noir from
Hmm.
like the 40s.
Oh well, I
It's
get that,
same
but
thing. Same
when
thing.
I saw Pulp Fiction, I was just like, that's just Reservoir. It's not even, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
oh, Straight to Hell was a great movie.
Yeah, it is. Jim Jarmusch is in it. It's a good film.
The Pogues, Joe
Yeah,
Strummer,
yeah.
Courtney Love, capturing
Well,
everything.
best
Yeah,
two out of
but
three.
yeah, but could anyone else play that annoying character other than Courtney Love?
I don't know. Ugh. So speaking of watching stuff,
Yes.
are you gonna watch Sandman this weekend? Season 2 dropped, I understand.
I am up to season, so I'm gonna rewatch it from the beginning. Season two, I think they're doing a two-part, so it's like season part one, and then like a month from now they'll do part two.
Got it.
Um, but yeah, I am rewatching it from the beginning, when I have time. So I'm up to ish episode three, I think. And even like rewatching it still blows my mind how good that is.
Hmm.
Like just like visually is stunning, very well acted, a lot of care put into it. Um, One of my favorite stories of all time, minus all the baggage and luggage. Fuck that shit. I
Yeah.
don't care anymore. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I see that it's going to be Season in the Mist. This is the first three episodes basically, and then Delirium. I had to cheat and see what episodes they did because I
Oh,
already know how the
okay.
story ends.
Okay.
So like the first three episodes are Season in the Mist stuff, and the last three episodes were the getting Shakespeare. Or
Okay.
no, I think one of the episodes is the Shakespeare episode
The
where he
Midsummer
hires
Night's
Shakespeare
Dream.
to do the Midsummers. I think it's called something else though. And then his son's wedding, which is a
Okay.
big one. And then the Delirium, where him and Delirium go on an adventure together.
Right.
So those all good stuff. I'm really hoping, seeing how this is the last episode, like they knew in advance. I'm hoping when they told him like we're giving you one more season, but it's going to be the last season, and that because supposedly I heard somewhere that they're like, oh no, this was always going to be the last season.
I
It
heard
wasn't. It
that
had
too, but
nothing to
that
do with
felt like
the.
spin control.
That felt like spin control to me too, but it looks more like an actual fact because like in a trailer you kind of see a kindly one scene
Okay.
where the girls like they're talking about going after Sandman at the end. So hopefully the next set would be that.
That makes
I'm
sense.
sad that we're losing some stuff in this because to me it read like, I mean, this is a different book we're talking later, but each season was like one of the omnibuses, and there's like five omnibuses,
Right. You lose a lot.
and yeah, you could have done five seasons out of them because the first one's definitely the first 12 issues. Um, but yeah, I have high hopes for it. I think it'll be good. I hope it's done because if we're not getting any more, at least it'll be done. And
I would have to
I want
imagine
it to be
that.
finished. Yeah,
Right. I would have to imagine that knowing that, I don't
yeah, I
know.
could see it took Netflix a long time to greenlight the second season, like 3 or 4 months. I could see them being like hesitant, like this didn't pull as well as we want, but if we don't do this, there's going to be a ton of pissed off people. So
Yeah.
you have one more season to wrap it up. So hopefully that's the plan. Um, and I think they could do a good job of it. I'm hoping they do. I'll find out in a week or two.
Right. I will watch it as well. I'm not sure I'm going to rewatch the first season. Maybe just based on time. I don't know. There's so much shit to watch. Um,
Yeah, I know there's like um I know the story already. Like we all know the
yeah.
story because we read the comic and love the comic. So we've read it several times. I know I have. I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I just like it's so good. I just want to re. It's been so long too. It's been what,
Yeah.
2 or 3 years, so it's still fresh.
I started rereading the graphic novel, the series, because I started reading it during the Kindly ones is when I got turned on to Sandman. So
Same here.
there were not trades for anything other than the first three, which was Preludes and Nocturnes, Dollhouse, and Dream Country. So while I was reading the Kindly ones, I went and bought those trades. And so I've read the first three trades and the Kindly ones in the Wake, which is like the postscript after the Kindly ones. I've read all
Mhm.
that multiple times. Everything in between, Seasons of Mist I've read twice, and everything else I've only read once.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
I I've read it every time I bought it. So like I bought I just like you, Kindly Ones is the first one. I really like Mark Hempel's artwork.
I love it
He
so
did a
much.
he did a book
So
called
much.
Gregory, which pop up the feed. Loved that book when I was younger. Um, Came this close to getting a tattoo for it, but I didn't have the money. But yeah, loved his artwork, so I picked up that, and that was the gateway to Sandman for me. And then yeah, I loved what I read. I was like, shit, I don't know what the hell's going on. I got to reread everything
Yep.
else, and bought it all in trade. Bought the first few in trade, had all the single issues for that, and then I decided to buy all the hardcovers when they redid the second printing, and all the hardcovers matched. So I bought all those, read it then, and then I really, and then they announced the absolute editions. I was like, with the recoloring, and I was like, well, hell, I'm going to buy that, and then that's what I own. So, and then they said we weren't going. Of course, DC was like, well, we're going to do the recoloring, but you can only get it in this, and then they, of course, sell the soft cover. Yeah,
Yeah. That's a
just
great
one of the
story.
many complaints. One of the many complaints I have DC's trading, how they handle trades.
Well, yeah, one of many. I mean,
Yeah,
and also, again, pointing out that like when the kindly ones were, there were only those first three trades. Like they hadn't collected any of the other stuff yet. So that came a little bit later. And I remember thinking like, what the fuck are you waiting for, man? Like, I don't
yeah,
understand. It's like one of the most popular books at that time, right? I mean, definitely Vertigo's flagship book, but I mean, really,
yeah,
it
and
kind
it
of
is a
made
book
Vertigo,
that
right?
it is a book that probably did better as a graphic novel than it ever did in single issues too.
Yeah,
Because everyone read it then,
yeah,
because it was the graphic novel, the graphic novel to probably read at the time. Compared to like no one cared about the single issues. No one was like, I know they go for money now a little bit, but it wasn't about money. It was about, I want to read this book.
yeah,
Give
exactly.
me $20 and I'll buy the trade. Um, and man, everyone, every girl I ever dated, I'd give them that book and they loved it.
It's a good book.
Except for my wife, I let her. She liked Preacher better, and I realized that was the
Well,
one.
nice. Preacher's pretty great too.
Yeah,
And it's, I mean, I do hope they finish it for sure. You know, the Netflix adaptation, because I hate stories that don't really have a good ending. That's not entirely true, but I'm using this as a segue. I actually really like ambiguous endings more than anything else. Um, but this isn't so, dude. This week's book.
so yeah, like
What the fuck? There's no. They set all this shit up and then literally answer none of it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like what?
so they do in the single issues.
So this is Batman Hush Returns. I've never read Hush. This was in Gotham Knights 50 through 55, and then issue 66 is also in here.
Yes. So I rant and rave about this book. So this is the first time I read the trade. I read
Okay.
this off the shelf when it came out. I loved it, and it's good, right? Like from what you get
I
in this, it's good.
I would not say there's things about it
I
I loved, but
Yes,
I
okay.
didn't.
So I like this. There's things about love, which I'll get into later. It's a great story of Batman's villains and how they interact with each other,
Yes,
which was
agreed.
not something that was done at that time. It was a good um, post Hush story slash post Killing Joke story. There's a Poison Ivy story that they kind of hint at in this trade that is actually very good. The whole run was solid straight through. I don't know why. Um, I did not realize this was unfinished when I suggested this trade. I've sold this trade to several people over the years, not realizing that it leaves you on this stupid fucking cliffhanger. The the 10 issue gap is all about Joker after that and how he deals with the stuff.
What the fuck happens with? So the setup here is Hush comes back and
Yes.
he he so I don't know shit about Hush except I remember hearing two things when it was out, that it was great, 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 and then when it ended, I heard this is bullshit. Riddler was Hush, and then I heard this is bullshit. It was like it was Bruce Wayne's neighbor from when he was a little kid.
Well, I mean, that was the first issue. So let me give you a crash course on Hush.
Please,
It was drawn by Jim Lee, and that's all everyone cares about.
I don't care about that at all, so I'll need
I
more.
don't care about either. I think it's one of the worst books I've ever read. But it is a book where, every month they so it's Jeff Loeb doing what Jeff Loeb does, trying to
You don't
do
have
what
to
Jeff
say.
Loeb does good.
You don't
Yeah.
have to say anything else. Not a
Well,
fan at
no.
all, man. Not a fan.
Hold on. So Long Halloween is a great book. Jeff
It's
Loeb and
okay.
Tim
I don't know.
Sale together work for me anyways. I think it's a marvelous book.
Okay.
They work off each other telling this great story. Hush itself is literally the exact same mechanics as Long Halloween, including like we're gonna do this like because in Long Halloween they kill off the holiday killer 6 issues in, just like they kill off Tommy Elliot in this 6 issues in, only to find out nope, that guy was still alive this whole time. Kind of cool in Long Halloween, just like, oh wow, we just read This Is Long Halloween again, just in drawn by Jim Lee. It's not that exciting. Character of the month, all that stuff. It literally is just the same book to me, except different characters and different
Okay.
artwork. Um, but not as good, very watered down. But the whole thing was with Hush was that Riddler figured out Batman's identity. It's not a secret. Then he teams up with Tommy Elliot to try to take Batman down. And that's where this picks off, where at the end, Batman defeats Hush, figures out it was Riddler all along. I think Riddler was actually in prison during the whole thing during Hush. So at the end, he just kind of goes like, "Oh, it was you, wasn't it?" He's like, "Haha, I know it's you, Bruce." And
Wait. You said he defeats Hush and finds out it was Riddler all along.
so Riddler's the mastermind. Hush was working with Riddler, if I recall correctly.
This sounds like a really convoluted plot.
It is. Oh, and then Jason Todd came back, but no, it was Clayface.
Oh my
But
God.
the end result is Riddler knows Bruce Wayne's secret identity. Hush knows wants to be to me kind of Hush wants to be like the new bad guy. He wants to destroy Batman,
Mm-hmm.
which is like you pick up here, so he's going after Riddler for betraying him.
Well, and he makes all of that very clear in this book. Like
Yes.
Joker continually says, "I run this town," and Hush is like, "No, you don't."
Yes.
Basically, he's like, staking his ground. Right? He's trying to kill the whole book. He's trying to kill the fucking Riddler, and Joker's trying to save him. Well, I mean, not trying to save him, but he's agreed to help him if this
Yes.
information he's asked for is accurate. And then at the end of the book, they don't tell you what happened to Riddler. Like he just gets away in this moment where it's like, and then they bring in Prometheus, who's like a science fiction villain I know from Morrison's JLA, and I'm like, what's he doing running around with handguns in Gotham City and stars? Like it made no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, I like that though, because they were using like AJ Lieberman was using characters I liked. They take a step further. But the things I like about this book is like I said, I like how Joker interacts with it. I like the fact that there's a scene where Joker's like, there's a room in a glass cage with bombs all over it and probably gas, and no one's allowed in there except for him. And it's a photo album of his life before it was Joker with his wife. And I thought
Wait,
that was kind of neat.
okay, so the one of the things I liked best about this is we get a flashback of Joker 12 months before he's Joker as a normal guy named Jack with his wife, and he's trying to make some money by doing this one kind of crooked thing, helping these
Hmm.
guys like pull a job at a chemical plant. And I like that, although is that canon?
Uh, it is now in this. This was the first thing that made that kind of canon.
That he had
Though the
a pregnant
chemical plant
wife.
thing, yeah.
Well, the chemical
So
plant thing has always been there, but
yeah,
like, and I know
but
Red
he had a
Hood.
wife was. That's Killing Joke.
Oh, so I've never read Killing Joke.
Oh, okay. So that's from
Okay.
Alan Moore's Killing Joke. So
Okay.
yeah, the scene where he's like, it's this scene here where he's got the cage and he's just kind of looking at these pictures, sad. Gave Joker more depth than I've seen in any other book. And then he
He's
just instantly turns into the psychopath right after that.
he's very good in this. He is probably the highlight in for me. He was probably the highlight. I don't remember the room.
Yeah, it's in I think it's in book one where they introduce him, where he shows up. And if you look here, like it is right after, yeah. So like Riddler's like, get this message to Joker, and then it cuts to Joker
Right. Okay.
in a locked cell,
Oh, got it.
which
Got it. Okay, now I
yeah,
see it. Now I see
yeah,
it.
and you can tell there's booby traps and whatnot in there, and it's sealed off from everyone, and he's just being himself. He's not being the Joker; he's being whoever he was before that.
Okay, so
Um,
that makes me like it even more, actually. I love, yeah, it's like a
yeah,
booby trap room with glass walls, and inside is a little podium that has a under glass a photo album with all of pictures of his wife and his life before. Yeah, so that's really cool, actually.
yeah, and then there's another good that like there was a great page where he's talking and they're asking about he's like lamenting about Hush or
Hmm.
something like that. And every time he would make a statement, I think he was maybe talking to Penguin, and he'd make a statement, and it would be like him making a statement, and then it would cut to a panel him going me, and then it would cut to another statement that he's making, and then the next panel be me. I'm the one
Hmm.
that does this. Who does all this?
Yes,
Me. And
yes,
it just shows like how self-centered. Yeah, here it is. Like this page right here.
yes, yeah,
Pause.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
and it's
good
just
page.
like, yeah, I'm the one Batman's most scared of. Me. Like it just cuts to his face, like just emphasizing how important he think he is to the whole thing, and that it's a great Joker story, but it just cracks me up that the book's called Hush Returns, and when you read the book itself, the chapters in it are called Throwback. The what was it? The Throwback. Like the book inside's not even acknowledging that it's called Hush Returns. It's just they
Right.
just collected this trade. Like, here's a Hush story, everyone, when it should be like, here's a really good Joker story, guys. But the DC fucked that up.
Well,
And yeah,
it's more of a Hush story, but I don't Hush is just stupid to me. I mean, it's like this
he
ripped
is
dude in bandages.
pushback.
Yes, pushback. He looks like Darkman, the Sam Raimi movie from like 89 or 90, but like ripped, and I just didn't like any interaction with, like, I don't know. I just thought he was weak, and so the only thing about it that worked about him that worked for me was the fact that he was gunning for the Riddler, and it created this tension point where the Riddler's
Yeah,
giving Joker this information, and then they just don't. It just ends, and I'm like, so you're
it
saying,
does end. So it does continue within, like, there's no other trade, sadly enough. But like it should, and it knows it ends too. It knows there's not going to be another trade because there's that stupid recap of like, oh, and Joker goes off and does his own thing, but Hush is over here can learn this, and it's like you acknowledge the fact that you just skipped over 10 issues that would have made us money. You know what I mean? Like I would sell the fuck out of this book because I
it,
like it a lot more, and it goes. This has always been my complaint about Hush, right?
mhm,
The original Hush series. You could buy that book um, in black and white. You could buy that book as an absolute. You could buy that book in separate issue hardcovers, I think. You could buy that book in two trades. You could buy that book in one trade. You could buy that book in a $10 trade. You could buy that book in a $100 trade. You could buy that book in an omnibus. You could buy that book in like all these forms, right? Who reads the same fucking book over and over again? You want to read what happens next. This is what happens next, and you made it this shitty trade. Like, and I love the book. I was so excited to reread this. Like I said, I have not read this since I bought it, 20 years ago, in the attempt to, like, I love this book. I want to read it and own it on the shelf and own whenever I can. And now here it is, 20 years later, rereading this, going like, wow, this is great. I don't know what happens next. I can't read what happens next. I gotta go find the fucking single issues now.
So this is going to be my question to you then. You've said repeatedly on this show, like you don't have any single issues anymore, and you just said you read this originally as single issues. So did you get rid of your single issues and buy this thinking it was the complete thing, and now you've read it finally, and you're like, fuck, I got fucked.
Kinda.
Wow, that sucks. You know what?
Also, I think at that time I was more buying trades. That was a time period when I was getting out of single issues at that time, and then buying trades. So I might have just read it off the shelf
I
because
I gotta
work at a
say,
comic book store. Yeah.
I think DC. I'm planting a flag. I think you owe this man money, or you owe you know you
I
either
don't want
owe him his
money.
money
I
for this
want a
back,
volume two
or you owe him a fucking. Well, they're not going to give you that because I mean
or a
DC are cunts.
complete. I don't know. They're starting to reprint shit from this period, so maybe they might think this because they're
I'm
like
telling you, man.
Hush is back now. I have my fingers
Oh God.
crossed, but it would be nice to have a complete run of AJ Lieberman stuff because it was a solid run. Like you see the bones in here, man. There's some interesting stuff they're laying down here.
Yeah,
Um, and so you never read Killing Joke, so you don't get that whole where he crawls naked to the thing and he's like, "Oh, Jim Gordon was there once. I have a piece of land, but Jim Gordon's been there, no one else."
yes, right, right.
That's all from Killing Joke.
Okay.
All that little guy who greets him at the end, that's also like a guy that's in the background of Killing Joke. So like this is like not only is this like a great
Oh.
sequel to one of the biggest books that DC trouts and raves and talks about, like, hey guys, you should read Hush. Hush is the best fucking Batman book we ever put out, except for the other greatest Batman book, Killing Joke. This is the sequel to both of those fucking books, and you shoved it under the blanket like it's nothing, and it's good, it's solid, it's a fucking great read, and it makes me mad that it's not available in anything now. Even this is out of print.
This is so. So I just picked this. If anyone's interested, I mean, I don't know how you could be after learning it's an incomplete story, but I
It's
bought
still
this on eBay
good.
for $14 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's
I
not
didn't
it's
understand why it was so cheap till just now. Like, because there's like out of print trades like this that go for like hundreds of dollars. I'm like, why is this one so cheap? Oh, because it's incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, this is real. And they do this. Like, think of Hitman, right? Garth Ennis's and Derek Robertson's
Hmm.
Hitman. Like, they put the first 6 issues out in a trade, and that was it until they did an omnibus a couple of years ago, which is probably out of print. But like literally, what's the fucking point of do? But that's a
Or
series, okay? This is like
here's another good one.
storyline. This is a fucking
Yeah,
storyline.
yeah. And here's another good one. Books of Magic. Very
I'm
popular
unfamiliar with that.
book. Okay, so it's
I know what it is. I just never read
you
it.
know what it is. You never read it. Okay, but we know it's basically Harry Potter,
Yeah, Tim Hunter, right?
right? A Harry Potter story that came out before Harry Potter could easily sell to Harry Potter fans,
Well, and it was
and
a
they only
Vertigo
put
book,
out.
so
It
it's
was a
more,
Vertigo book,
yeah,
also Sandman related.
yeah.
Only put out 3 trades for years. The first 3 trades. They finally put out giant hardcover omnibuses for it, but like for years you can only get the first 3 trades, and that was it. Whatever happened after that, you had to buy the single issues and back issues. And another one, also a sequel to a hot series. Speaking of Sandman, The Dreaming, a
Yeah, I was
very
just gonna
good
say, literally
book.
just gonna say that. Never been collected,
Yeah,
right?
never been collected. Like, and it goes to that thing like you get done reading Sandman, you get done reading Hush, and you get done reading Killing Joke. It's like, this is awesome. What's next? And it's like, well, there's stuff out there. It's just as good, but DC doesn't have it in print.
It's so weird, man. It's like, say what
I
you want about
know.
Marvel, they trade everything almost immediately.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like they don't leave gaps like this. And this is really infuriating because so okay, if this is issues 50 through 55 and then 66,
Hmm.
which by the way, the inclusion of 66 was just fucking stupid.
I agree.
It was just dumb.
It made
It's
no sense.
made no sense, and I didn't think it was particularly good either. But so, am I to understand then that probably if this is 50 through 55, that 55 through 60 is probably the second half of the story?
Yeah, I know
I,
there's a point where Joker comes back and crawls his way out of that thing shortly after. I distinctly remember that. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that he tied everything up. I never left this AJ Lieberman's run when he ended. I remember being satisfied with it, but not like, and wanting more, not to the point where I was like when I got done reading this, like, what happens next? Like, I could have sworn everything was like tied up, you
yeah,
know?
I was shocked, man. I was
I
absolutely shocked
think
when I got to the end.
he goes after the guy I want to say he goes after that cop who killed his wife,
Well, that was the other
which
thing.
is
Like,
the,
oh my God, the whole fucking thing is about that. It's about Hush trying to kill the Riddler and Joker protecting him because he's given him the name of the cop that essentially killed his wife, right?
yes.
None of that is concluded. Like, the way, oh my God. Oh, it makes my dirty cunts. DC, dirty cunts. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, and it it's good. Once again, guys, this is good stuff. Oh,
Well, so I will
but
suspend
yeah,
my judgment then. So apparently I'll never read the rest of this. So I mean, it's not. I didn't not enjoy this, but I didn't enjoy it either. You know what I mean? Like there was stuff I really liked about it,
yeah.
but getting to the end and having it, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Hmm.
So it anything I liked. I mean, it doesn't sully like the. I still really like that Joker flashback, and there was some other stuff, but
Yeah, the Joker flashback's good. I think they explain Prometheus a little bit better throughout the whole thing too.
well, then is that
Um,
supposed to be his fucking origin in issue 66? Is that who's
yes,
talking?
yes.
Cause that just
I
also
think,
it just made no sense. So he kills a
yeah,
monster, gets a key that can help him move around the cosmos, and then ends up toting pistols in Star City shooting cops or what. Like it just it'd be like if you had if you took a Daredevil story and put Thanos in it and he's like running around shooting cops with a handgun. You'd be like, did you read the bio for this character, or were you just like, oh, he looks cool,
yeah.
let's use him, give him a gun, and he'll rob a bank? Like, no, that
I thought
doesn't
he
fit.
was using a gun in Justice League. I don't think he's got the like in Justice League he had the technology to like mimic people. I don't think he has that technology anymore. And then I think they even retcon it, saying it wasn't even him anyways. It was some
Oh
other guy
God.
pretending to be him.
Well,
I
admittedly,
don't know.
it's been at least fuck man. I don't think I've read that JLA Morrison's JLA's in like 25 years at least.
Yeah,
So maybe it's something we could do down the road. I don't have all of it. It's another one. Back in the '90s, it was like we were just talking about Sandman. I think I started reading it during Rock of Ages, which was maybe the third storyline, and I read it
yeah.
through to the end, but I never picked up the others.
I do have it all in trade. I know that.
I loved it when I
Um,
read it.
oh yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it now. I think I would still really like it. Howard Porter's art in that is fucking amazing.
I think the coming back to the art in this was really good too.
I was just gonna say, so Al Barianuvo and
Yeah.
Javier Pina, really fucking just fantastic art. Really, really
It's
good.
it's a solid book. I stand by it, and I still do, even though as mad as I am at this trade. I still
Ah,
am still stand by this. Like one of my favorite runs of Batman. It reminded me how much I liked it. I was very excited to read this again. I enjoyed every issue of this, even the shittier 66 one where it cuts out and just is so out of
yeah,
fucking
and
place.
even that didn't have an actual fucking ending. So I'm like, wait a minute. So you didn't end
Why?
the storyline, then you put in this other issue that it does also doesn't end. So I mean, it's almost just. I just don't know. I just, you know,
Well, this is
listen.
what it is I think DC is like, this is, we're just going to put the Hush stuff in here. Because I don't think Hush is in the other, like that Joker storyline. I don't think
He
Hush is
would
involved
have to
in
be
it.
because they don't resolve the shit with him and
Well,
Riddler.
no,
Like,
because he,
what the fuck?
Riddler does his own thing. I don't remember how that went. I think Hush left the book for a while and then comes back in that. Oh, no, Hush has a thing with Poison Ivy while Joker does his thing. So it was like a Poison Ivy kind of fall in love with Hush story or some bullshit. I don't remember. It was dumb. Well, not dumb. It was good. It was just like wasn't the highlight of the book. Um, but it's I want to read it all. I want to finish it. It was so good. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and then I was ripped away from like not getting the ending to this story. Just reading book one. That's not even listed as a book one.
So, I mean, I think you're right. I think DC was just like, I don't know, maybe this will sell. Throw the health issues in there, and if
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just
yeah, because it's called Pushback. It's not even called Hushes, but Hush Returns is not even listed in any of those things. The book is called
pushback.
Pushback.
So, Push Returns is just a marketing thing. So that
Yeah,
100%
like it
proves.
makes even more sense why it's so bad as a
Ah, fuck
collection.
them, dude. Fuck, fuck. DC destroying continuity, dirty cunts. Uh, whatever.
Like you got all these names for them.
Well, that's pushback. I'm gonna take a fucking Sharpie and fucking scratch it out and write pushback on. No, I'm not gonna do that. But oh my god. What are we doing next? We're gonna do. Well, we may be back before this to cover some like more current stuff, but we are going to cover. I'm very excited. A book I read as it was coming out in the late '80s, and it absolutely charmed the fuck out of me. And that's Nick Fury versus Shield, the 6-issue prestige format. Uh,
It is finished, right?
oh yeah, oh yes, there is a definitive start and end to this. No,
I
it's
feel bad. I should have. I like I said, I haven't read this book in 20 years. I did not realize it didn't
that's fine. I'm not
finish.
mad at you. Um,
I know. I'm not. I'm mad too. And once again, highly recommend this, guys. If you ever get a chance to read it, be
nobody,
prepared to be
nobody,
disappointed,
nobody,
but still read it.
nobody listening to this is gonna read it now. But maybe Dirty Cunts if you want to put out like the second volume, which really just so you could just do 55 through 60, and then I don't know, you could just throw in an issue of. What does it matter? Throw in an issue of fucking Lobo. It would make
Just
about as much sense as this 66 bullshit at the back of this.
give me a
Um,
complete run of AJ Lieberman's run of Batman, like a whole AJ Lieberman book. That'd be nice. I'd like that. Give me
well, you
that.
know what?
That'd be
They
nice.
they don't care.
I'd buy it. You'd get my money again.
They don't care. Any company that throws away like a $700 million movie or whatever Batgirl cost, like they don't want your money. They laugh at you.
So DC don't care.
Don't care. There. Oh.
Don't care.
All right. Well, my Kolsch is done, and my patience
So is
with
mine.
don't care is also done. I mean, it's going to be don't care from now on. That's how I'm going to refer to them. Uh, Drinking with Comics. I'm Sean.
I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm Sean. Join me and my friends every week for the Horror Vision, where we talk about horror movies.